So here we go. The Cupra Leon, no longer called the Leon Cupra, because of course Cupra is its own brand, so you don't get a Seat Leon Cupra. No, instead you get a Cupra Leon. Now, regular viewers of the channel will know I do own a Seat Leon Cupra, a Mark II, nicknamed Leo, but he is a different beast to this. This is a bit more grown up, more modern. Of course, I've got a 7-speed DSG as well. I just turned down the air conditioning, which is going to be easier said than done in this, because the touchscreen in this isn't the easiest to use on the move. There we go. So this is going to be a short drive. If you've watched my other videos from this event, the SMMT test day, you will know that I only get the car for about 20 minutes or so. So these drives are short, but hopefully sweet. Now, regular viewers will of course know that earlier this year, a few weeks ago in fact, I drove the Cupra Formentor. That video might not be on the channel yet, depending on my editing schedule. Anyway, enough about my editing schedule. You're not interested in that. What you are interested in is, of course, the power. The Cupra Leon, much like the Formentor and the Ateca, is powered by a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine, offering 300 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque. Unlike the Formentor and the Ateca, power is fed to the front wheels only, not unless you go for the estate version. There's no manual gearbox, I'm afraid, but you do get a 7-speed DSG instead, which is pretty darn good. 0 to 62 is dealt with in 5.3 seconds, and the top speed is 155 miles per hour. There are 4 driving modes to choose from: Comfort, Sport, Cupra and Individual, but accessing them isn't always the easiest whilst on the move, as I will now demonstrate. Wish me luck. I don't want the air conditioning. How do I go back? I just want to go back. I want the driving modes. Why is there not a button for the driving modes? Oh. I'm just going to let him pass whilst I just faff about with this. Oh, so how do I get out the... I'm not doing this for the cameras. I'm genuinely... How do I go home? Oh, I just did it by mistake. Drive profile. After all that, it was already in Cupra. Well, I do need to put the air conditioning on a bit because it's actually quite warm in here. Pre-flight check's done. Right. So this is a quick drive. These are my first impressions. Now this feels very similar to the Cupra Formentor, but it would do, wouldn't it? Apart from, of course, I'm sat lower, the seating position is actually really nice. My driver's seat is electronically adjustable, which is also nice. I'm going to set it to its lowest. There we go, that's more like a bit more sporty. Oh yes, I feel hunkered down now. It'll be interesting to see how this feels, because of course I haven't got the reassurance, that's what I was looking for, of 4-wheel drive. It'll be interesting to see how this gets on. Brakes feel very good. Steering feels good. It's actually quite playful. Now, of course, you don't get a drift mode in this like the Golf R, because, as I keep mentioning, this is front-wheel drive. But despite that, it still puts in a good show in regard to handling. It's not the most fun hot hatch going. It's quite grown up, it's quite civilised. It's not quite as boisterous as my Mark II. That's the autonomous emergency braking. It's not quite as boisterous as my Mark II Cupra, but my Leon has been modified, so yeah, it's always going to feel, this is always going to feel a bit more grown up. The brakes are pretty good. I should have turned in a bit earlier there. Shut up. Bloody autonomous emergency braking. Wanting to get in on the video. Sounds pretty good as well. Oh, it's quite a nice burble to it. I said it when I drove the Formentor. The engine note, to me, almost sounds like a kind of replica of Audi's 5-pot. And that's not a bad thing. I do suspect this is a sound imposer that the noise has been dubbed in, but I don't mind that kind of thing. I know some purists aren't a big fan of it, but I don't mind it. Oh, really grips in the corners. Brakes feel strong. Maybe want them to be a little bit sharper, but that's me being picky. The brakes do feel quite progressive though. The feedback through them is, can I turn that off? That's doing my flipping head in. Ah! Oh, this touchscreen is very nice to look at, but it does my flipping head in. Not driver alerts. I bet I can't turn it off. That's extremely annoying. The 7-speed DSG works well. I'm hoping to get one of these for a week so I can give you a better insight in regards to how this car is. And I may even do a comparison between this and my Mark II. The power is progressive, it's linear, and it's strong. Oh, yes. Not quite as assured as the Formentor, of course, four-wheel drive and all that jazz. It's putting on a good show. Oh, let's Cupra. You're starting to get worked hard, aren't you? I'm being told to slow down, even though I'm not actually breaking the speed limits. Oh yes. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. This is very composed. See, I think this is a good sign of a good car, when you just go quiet and you just, where you just appreciate what it's got to offer. Somehow just turned off the lane assist. I don't know how I managed that. How did I do that? All I did was hit a bump. And one thing I do have to say, even in Cupra, the ride is nice. Now, I'll be honest, I've just jumped into this car. I don't know whether or not I've got adaptive dampers. So, in fact, let me play about with the driving mode to see. Okay, comfort. It does feel more supple in comfort mode, but I don't know if that's mind over matter. So, there's a good chance I will need to cut to a voiceover. No, my bum does not deceive me. This car did in fact have the adaptive dampers, or dynamic chassis control as the product is referred to. That comes as standard on this model, which is the range-topping VZ3. Starting from £37,235, it offers standard features including 19-inch alloys, LED lights, 10.1-inch touchscreen with Bluetooth, DAB radio, smartphone connectivity and navigation, digital cockpit, drive modes, wireless phone charger, heated front seats, front and rear parking sensors, park assist, rear view camera, sport suspension, plenty of safety equipment, some of which is annoying, plus more. If that is a bit too rich for your blood, you can go for the base model VZ1, which starts at £32,005 and has pretty much all of the features and has plenty of the features I've just mentioned. Or you can have the VZ2, which starts from £33,260. The Cupra Leon is also available as an e-hybrid if you want your performance to be more sustainable, and if you need more space, like the Mark III, it is also available as an estate. Hard on the brakes. They perform well. And tuck it in. Front end is responsive. Maybe a tad of understeer, but not enough to really complain about. Right, dab the brakes again. Turn it in early to get the camber. Wow, this is flipping brilliant. That was understeer. That was definitely a bit of understeer there. But I was kind of pushing it a bit hard in the corner, probably getting on the power a little bit too early. If I'm not mistaken, this doesn't have a limited slip differential, but it does have the Volkswagen Automotive Group's XDS, which has been around for quite some time actually, which is basically like an electronic limited slip differential. Not as good as a proper mechanical one, but it's better than nothing, which is what my Mark II Cupra has. Right. Oh my God. On the brakes hard, on the brakes hard. Oh. And let it run wide. There we go. Oh, bit bumpy there. Oh. Now that was quite a blast. Not the most fun car I've driven today, and this as a hot hatch package is, I'd say, a bit more refined, a bit more grown up compared to, let's say, a Focus ST, for example. But it's a really good car. I may, if I have the opportunity, I may drive the Golf GTI Club Sport. So if I do, be prepared to look out for that. I will try and get in that, ideally straight away, so I've got some kind of comparison. But we'll have to see how today goes. But yes, I know it's not the most insightful video. It's difficult to be that insightful in the space of about 20 minutes. Oh, I went to go for a gear lever. Hasn't got one. GoPro's still there. Good. Yeah, this is more my first thoughts and my experience, and yeah, it's a really well put together car. Not necessarily the most thrilling, but it still has enough to excite you on the right road. So hopefully I can get one of these for a week to give it a more thorough review, to give you some more in-depth thoughts on it. But until then, I do hope you have enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions about the car, please do get in touch. Yeah, that's quite an impressive package. So guys, if you have enjoyed that video, then be sure to like, comment and subscribe. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. But until the next time guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession.